Thank you all for joining me today. This is a roundtable overview of decision support systems and expert systems. My name is Sharina Babb. This is for class ISAS 640 Decision Support Systems and Expert Systems with the University of Maryland Global Campus. Today is August 7th, 2023. I have Essence Lee, Ronald Babb, and Jaden Booker with me today. Thank you all for joining me. So today we're going to review artificial intelligence, goals of artificial intelligence, expert systems, decision support systems, the benefits and limitations of AI, data warehouse, data mining, and data analytics. So just to kind of summarize, these are the things that we went over all semester. And so I'm putting it all together and a roundtable review for you all. So let's go into what is artificial intelligence. AI is a broad field that includes various technologies used to create intelligent machines that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. In particular, decision support systems and expert systems are two types of AI applications that are used to assist humans in decision making. Any questions so far? All righty. So the goals of artificial intelligence is to simulate human intelligence, its problem solving and automation, its natural language processing and understanding, its machine learning and pattern recognition, knowledge representation and reasoning, robotics and autonomous systems, and ethical and responsible artificial intelligence. Now let's go into expert systems. So expert systems is a computer program that simulates the decision-making ability of a human expert in a particular field. Three types of expert systems: a rule-based expert system, a model-based expert system, and a case-based expert system. So the rule-based expert system, these are systems used when the rules to represent knowledge and make decisions based on those rules. And then the model-based are systems use mathematical models to represent and make decisions based off those models. And lastly, the case-based is previously used to solve cases to represent knowledge and make decisions based off of those particular cases.
I have a
And now,
question. Oh,
sure,
sorry, Shereen.
go ahead.
What are some concerns related to AI and when it's integrated with decision support systems and the expert systems?
Oh, that's a good question. Thank you, Ron. So, kind of highlighting just a couple of three concerns that I could think of off the top of my head is really just like around bias and fairness. So, like AI systems, including like those that are integrated like with decision support systems and expert systems, can inherit some of the bias based upon their programming and what they're trained on to do. So that can lead to some bias and fairness because you have to program the system. So human, can program the system to be biased. Another concern is the reliability and accuracy of the data itself. Again, it's only as good as the data that it's trained to do and its program. And then lastly, I think this is very common, and today's concern with artificial intelligence in general is just the dependency upon the technology and potential job displacement. Technology is advancing, so a lot of concern is like, can those jobs that a system or artificial intelligence do, can it replace the tasks that humans do today? So I think those are like some key concerns that arise with AI and decision support systems and expert systems.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks.
You're welcome. All righty. So speaking of decision support systems, it's computer-based system that assists decision makers in making informed decisions. These are a variety of data and analytical tools to provide decision makers with necessary information and sound judgment. This can be used in various domains, including finance, healthcare, and logistics. Three types are a model-driven DSS system, which is used for mathematical and statistical models. Data-driven DSS systems are like large amounts of data to generate insight and recommendations. And then lastly, the knowledge-driven, these systems use expert knowledge and rules to provide recommendations for decision makers. All righty. Let's talk about some limitations and benefits. So I think we probably brought up a couple of these, but in general, the benefits of AI is basically to improve decision making. It provides decision makers with accurate and timely information. Actually, really fast and robust information can be provided to you, and even scaling through large data. It's increased efficiency, the automation of repetitive and time-consuming tasks. Can be handled through the AI process. So that can free up time from just a human having to do those tasks. And then cost savings. They can reduce the cost by optimizing processes and identifying areas where resources can be better utilized. And then the limitations around AI and DSS is the lack of common sense and contextual understanding. So, AI systems often struggle with understanding applying common sense. It has to be programmed by a human, and once it's programmed, you have to continue to keep that programming up to date. Otherwise, it's going to be a repetitive type of function that's going to happen. So it doesn't have common sense to do a certain task. It's going to do exactly what it's programmed to do. And then another limitation is data quality issues. Basically, it relies heavily on data, and if the data is poor quality or inaccurate, it can lead to incorrect conclusions and decisions. So again, that data quality has to be up to date. It definitely has to be clean data in order for key decisions and sound decisions are made. And then lastly, security vulnerabilities, where malicious actors manipulate inputs to deceive or disrupt the system functions, and different hacking type of things can occur. The data can get corrupted and things of that matter. So that's a risk. And then therefore, once that data is, corrupted, you could be making decisions based off of corrupted data. So that's definitely a limitation or a concern as well, to kind of add to the list of some of the things that you asked about, Ron. All righty. So let's go into data warehouse. So a data warehouse is a large and centralized repository of structured or unstructured data collected from various sources within an organization. Key characteristics include data integration. Historical data is stored in data warehouses, and even new data is stored there for repository. It's non-volatile, subject-oriented type of data. So in a data warehouse, you can have, for example, like in our organization, you can have customer information, customer first name, last name, date of birth, anything, services that we provide to them can all be stored in a data warehouse. So that's subject oriented. It's particular to members and services and things of that matter. And then reporting analysis and performance optimization. So, with a data warehouse, and I'm kind of going to go into key factors around data warehouse, which is data analytics and data mining. But in general, it's more like a repository that basically houses all the information for your organization that you need, and different departments can utilize this data and pull from. All righty. So I'm going to go into data analytics before I go into that, or data mining. Did you have any questions? Anybody have any questions or comments?
I actually do have a question.
Sure.
In your current role, do you rely on data to make business decisions? And if so, how is that data presented to you?
Oh, I actually use data every day, all day in my current role. First things first, some of the decisions that I have to make are around resources, or even system stability, or even determining if we are in a threshold of risk of meeting business needs. So how that data is presented to me is in various ways, whether it's a report that I get from my reporting team, or if I'm looking at the data. Well, if I'm getting the report from our reporting team, they're normally querying the tables in our data warehouse to provide me key, elements that I need to know to be able to make sound decisions. But then again, I also have an opportunity, which I have a user interface dashboard in my system where I can actually take a look at real live data that has been programmed and configured for me to be seeing it in a dashboard type of setting. So, and that data is housed in the data warehouse, and it's visible to me in nice, pretty charts and thresholds, and so it's presented to me in different ways to answer the question: reporting, dashboarding, and things of that matter. But I do have to make decisions daily based upon the data that's presented to me. Thank you for asking that question, Jaden.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All righty, so let's go into data. Let's go further into data. Data mining in particular. Data mining is the process of discovering patterns, relationship, anomalies, and trends in large data sets using various mathematics, statistics, and machine learning techniques. Some of the data mining techniques is clustering, classification, regression, associate rule mining, and anomaly detection. Like I said, data is all around us. Data, you can use data in anything that you're doing, whether you're in school, whether you're having to do work for an organization. We can always utilize data to make some type of formed sound decision. So other ways that we have data is data analytics. Analytics is a concept that encompasses the process of examining data, drawing conclusions, and making, again, informed decisions based off data insights. And type of analytics is descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive type of analytics. And so with that being said, like I said, in the combination of our artificial intelligence, utilizing decision support systems and expert systems, utilizing data warehouse, data mining, data analytics, all of it comes together in any type of organization as a whole to be able to leverage either automation. You can take the AI decision support systems and have automation perform for your data that's in your data warehouse. So it all ties together in order to be able to, number one, perform effectively and efficiently in an organization. And also, number two, to be able to make sound judgments and decisions by accurate data that's presented to you and clean data. All righty. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Hey, Sharina, I have a
Yeah,
question.
sure.
How does ethics and compliance play a part with data warehouse, data mining, and data analytics?
Oh, that's a good one. I knew you was going to ask me that, since compliance is definitely your realm.
My baby.
So, okay, so data warehouse, data mining, and data analytics. Let's take a look at data warehouse. So, with data warehouse, when it comes to ethics, one thing and two things for sure, it's very important to be able to obtain consent, like just from individuals, in order to be able to collect data and house their data. And that's just due to like privacy and security concerns as well. So an example of that is, say for example, today you can go to a website and you type in your information, or even like your credit card to make a purchase. They'll ask you, would you like for us to store this? That in itself could be stored to their data warehouse. So basically making sure you ask for consent. That's an ethical requirement, to ask for consent in order to be able to store somebody's data. And then like from a compliance perspective with data warehouses, you must adhere to like data regulations such as like GDPR, HIPAA, which I know you're familiar with HIPAA from a healthcare perspective, and CCPA regulations. So data warehouse kind of ties into just consenting of leveraging the data, and then following basic compliance regulations such as HIPAA, things of that matter. And then also making sure when you have a data warehouse, just restrictions on who can access data, right? I know, for example, like even, and I'm speaking more in the healthcare world, like the state of Florida, if certain people don't have certain level 2 background checks, they can't access members in Florida's data. They had not been, had their background check. So those are type of compliance and regulations that need to be in place when you have data in a data warehouse. And so kind of going into data mining, I know you asked about that. The ethics around data mining is just basically the transparency of the data usage itself, basically ensuring you don't have bias or discriminatory results, basically due to skewed data that's there. So that's an ethical thing, just making sure your data is actually accurate and up to date, to be able to provide accurate data as far as the results that's needed from that data mining. And then a compliance perspective around data mining is just making sure that if data is obtained from a third party or even given to a third party, and this kind of speaks to your world, that if you're going to be sharing that data, maybe like from a regulatory regulatory perspective that you are giving the minimum, right? You know, less is better. Like if it's not asked for, you're not oversharing and things of that matter from a compliance perspective. And then let's see, data analytics. When it comes to ethics around data analytics, you just basically want to consider, again, it kind of goes back to data mining, the accuracy and the transparency of your data. And then from a compliance perspective around data analytics, you want to be adhering to just regulations, company standards, and just make sure that the data is protected and that the privacy of your, your customer base and that data is regulated. And that kind of holistically goes back to the first part of data warehouse, making sure that who needs access to it has, gone through their background checks. Minimum is necessary. You don't want to open up your whole data warehouse to everybody in your organization. It definitely needs to go through some layers of restriction. So I hope that answered your question around ethics and compliance. I know it's really, really key when you talk about data and customers' information. All righty. So, we talked about, again, like I said, artificial intelligence, how it impacts decision support systems, expert systems, data warehouse, data mining, data analytics, and just overall, when you take a look at this, AI as itself is broad, it's continued to evolving. The overarching aim is just to create systems that can assist, augment and enhance human capabilities, basically make it use of ease for humans in general, even making tasks more effective and efficient. And then lastly, data house within a data warehouse can be used for data mining, data analytics, which can also help, a human make key decisions, quick decisions, because the data can be easily, readily available to you on a day-to-day job, in a leadership role. You got to make key decisions and you have to be able to pivot quickly. So I just wanted to, share some key information with you all around what we learned this semester. It's been very informative. It's been very enlightening as well. And I hope you all have gained some knowledge today and me being able to share this information with you all. And then lastly, I just want to share that, I've done some extensive researching throughout the semester, just to kind of highlight my references here. As you can see, these were some of the key elements of my research that got me to the point of this roundtable discussion today. And that's all I have for you all today. So I thank you all for joining. If you want to talk more about this topic, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be glad to share more details with you and more in depth, and even some of my projects that I did throughout the semester. Thank you all. Have a great day.